Okay, welcome back, everyone. It's a little bit before 4 o'clock. We're gonna spend a little bit more time going through our budget work that we were doing a little earlier in the afternoon. Take up going line by line. Let's see. We ended with the Vermont State Police conversation. And there was send an email out to the committee kind of clarifying how that process was working as far as the special fund that was referenced, but we can come back to that tomorrow. I just wanted to cite that email was sent out to members for review. So thank you. Next up on the list is Military Administration, Vermont Student Assistance Corporation, BSAC, for the National Guard Tuition Benefit Program. $1.2 million, excuse me. And that is, you know, in my mind, my heart and soul, a very valuable program.
It's in the guns, right?
Yep. Thumbs favorably. All right.
And I do want to say something about that when the Guard does not use that tuition money, they give it right back.
Okay.
Which is.
Okay. So up next, military position pool for $442,247. These are for 6 limited service positions from the position pool: 4 military maintenance specialist, 2, 1 military building construction specialist, and a military storekeeper. This seems per the notes in the governor's rec,
Yeah, that's
and it is federally funded.
right.
So this must be some kind of just pass through or sniff through the general
They
fund.
call them cooperative agreements. A lot of these are where the federal money is, what's the word I'm looking for? I know the word I want to say, but I don't want to say it, but where the money is transferred from one.
Remitted.
There we go.
Yeah,
That's
we'll
good.
go with remitted.
You know, the word I was thinking of, it's kind of funny.
So let's say military position pool, we are looking at the table, favorable. All right. For the sake of being redundant with federal funds, we are at a military position pool for $147,411. This is for
The state's component
yep.
of same.
So that's what that is.
Yes,
Positions, Rep. Morgan,
I'm sorry.
same 6 positions.
Yeah, it's the same identical, it's the same identical verbiage. It's just there's a match on it is what I've gathered.
Matching state. Okay.
That is not uncommon.
Yes, with federal dollars, there is typically a string like that attached. Okay, so committee, are we finding this favorable?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And now we're on to Veterans Affairs, $30,500. Vermont Medal Program, Veterans Advisory Council, money for Veterans Day Parade, Boys Girls State, $10,000, and the USS Vermont Improvement, $10,000. Those are common requests that come through here. It is in the goes right. Questions, comments,
No, good with all those.
favorable thumbs? All right. Oh, shifting gears to an agriculture, food and markets, $136,770. Administrative services manager position. And
It is in the government's.
it is, and that's just a breakdown of how it gets to that total sum, if I'm reading that correctly, Representative.
Yes.
Questions or comment? Favorable thumbs? DPS. A conversion of 1 limited service classified financial director to a permanent position. So this is a conversion, so this is one of those things where it's if I'm reading this correctly, and please correct me if I'm wrong, committee, it was a one-time funded position that's now looking to be permanently put into the budget as a standing line.
I think maybe we need to hear from Rep. Hooper about this position.
Okay, so.
Dollar amount is.
Oh, yeah, we don't have a dollar amount either.
So question mark, we'll hold that one. Department of Vermont Health Access, 994,154. Classified positions being taken from pool. One healthcare assistant, digital comms, business project manager, 4 healthcare service specialists, and 5 Vermont healthcare service specialists. It is in the governor's recommend, Repstone. And I just saw your name was on it. Well, actually, I got a hand over here from Repstone.
So my question is, if these positions don't get filled, then the money just goes into the surplus for the year? We don't get it back.
What surplus?
Well, it's asking for a permanent.
For the end of the year budget, I mean, the budget surplus at the end of the year, if we don't hire one of these positions, then the money is part of the surplus?
But no, it just wouldn't be included. Because we're discussing whether or not to recommend including the 900, just shy of $1 million.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what we're saying. So if we approve this and put it in the budget, and then they don't hire the digital communication
I see what you're
specialist.
saying. I see what
Oh,
you're saying.
that's.
So that money sits in there as a surplus.
Well, if we fund it and it doesn't get hired, would that fall into the vacancy savings kind of conversation?
I think so.
That would, yeah, I think so.
Oh, it's called a vacancy?
Yeah, it's a pool.
Okay, because it's part of the pool. Okay, I was just wondering if, you know, just spend that on something else because it's in the budget. That was my question.
And so with this, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm running through this process in preference, so it's say we fully fund all these positions, they don't hire it.
Yeah.
All of them, some of them, but not all. That proration will go into like a vacancy savings bucket, and then that gets disseminated at the end of the year through like a different like budgetary process.
Or BAA maybe.
Yeah.
Or BA, yeah,
Right.
that's what I'm saying, different
Right,
budgetary
and also
process.
state sessions, balance budgets.
The constant remaneuvering of money.
Correct. Yeah, because like, yeah, just like the personnel with the positions, it's like defined as, but can be inconsistent with people.
Called
Coming and
it,
going.
we called it flow. What was?
Yeah.
Because you always have, well, and you've got lapse, right, is another way to call it. So lapse of a position unfilled, 3 months gives you ability to go fill potentially something else. Yeah, so there's always all kinds of ways you can, yeah, remaneuver that money.
So, all right.
Barring no further commentary, favorable thumbs.
The changes, they do. These positions. All the Medicaid changes are gonna need these positions for people to help navigate changing landscape.
All right, let's see. Up next, we have Department of Corrections pretrial supervision program for $200,000. Added to the prior year funding of 7 permanent positions. Probation parole. Position pool, is it a recommend? Yes, for Waters Evans.
I mean, it's not really our job to investigate this, just FYI, I did read a news article last week, did you all read it? About how they're not sure these programs work. Or as effective as they would like them to be.
Gotcha.
I think the report that I read said that there wasn't as much usage of the program as they expected. The people who are using it, it was successful for. There wasn't a whole lot of usage, so I think there's bill in judiciary that they're talking about this now.
You want me to try to get anything more on it? That move?
I'm fine with it, I just. Something to note.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I mean, I guess if judiciary decides that this is the way to go, regardless of what the uptake has been, then they would need those positions funded.
Right,
$200,000 doesn't seem like a lot for 7 permanent
Well, it's
classified.
additional.
Adding to it.
Yeah.
Funding.
Okay,
Take the program
perfect.
statewide.
Right, okay. So that's probably like a, almost a cost of living type.
I would say, yeah. Could
They
be.
know they're.
With the
they're
change of
stressed.
benefits and yes, concur.
Yeah,
And
they're
I think
stressed in that
Rep
courthouse.
Stone's point, I heard it, but if you would like to say that again, just for.
It's to take the program statewide is the rationale for the additional $200,000 ask.
Got it.
That
Right.
was the reasoning.
I was at,
Favorable thoughts? That is, all right, favorable thumb. You good with that, VL?
Yes.
All right, cool. Oh. Educational transformation unknown.
I have reached out to my budget buddy and he wrote back to me and said he agreed with me on the youth council and the VAN request, but he didn't answer my other questions. So I answered him back and said, well, what about the others? And I've not heard back from him.
Okay.
So we'll table that one until I hear from him.
Brad, hey, go ahead.
Yeah, so this was part of Act 73, I
Mhm.
believe, and there is no known dollar amount for this. It depends on how Act 73 is implemented, so I don't know how we can really make a justification for this, except say that however it's implemented, we either support or don't support the implementation of a bill that we already passed. So, we're not giving a dollar value to it, I know that.
So we're gonna hold for more information on this one,
Yeah.
it says.
or is that when we just say we don't have recommendations?
Oh, we could do a no,
Yeah.
yes,
So we're
that would
not
be
going
really
to now,
good.
right?
Right.
Well, that's the
Yeah.
thing, is like, I didn't know if there was like pertinent information with what she was waiting on, and then we go to a no rec kind of thing.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? Like we still have a little bit of clock before we have to be definitive. So, but my head was very much kind of in your spot with that, where like this is something that it does come to us, but this is a big policy conversation that happens more robustly outside of this room.
And saying, well, the next one is just technical corrections. I think it's all part of the. Needs to.
Yeah, so I guess like what we'll do with this, and it seems like there's another one just after. These bigger education pieces don't have a dollar amount assigned to them.
Well, I know that the transition of the current 1/3 purchase and use tax last year, they were saying, or I heard conversation, that's about $100,000 that they're taking away from the education fund, but it triples in value of federal government matching dollars. So they're
Okay.
taking so I don't think it affects. Not giving it any money, there's no dollar amount to this, it's just it's a transfer of funds allocation.
Oh, that one would be, if you're talking about the purchase and use,
Yes.
that would be a transfer from purchase and use going to the ed fund to purchase and use going back to the fund.
Right.
So that would be a wash. It just would go to a different fund.
Okay, so it's,
No money,
for a basic way of putting it, it's like fund hopping.
yeah.
So do we want to take a position on that? Just because it seems like it's interesting buckets that are moving.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes? Well, it's seeing favorable thumbs. And then next up, transitions to the current 1/3. Yeah.
So.
Seems
Okay,
like this.
that was the one I was just talking.
Yeah, that's
Sorry.
what I thought right there. Yeah, because I was looking at the technical correction at
Yeah.
the one above. These are
I
all
was not
sort of.
looking at that one.
There's really no need for action, just it's like a point of awareness.
With the one that is the second column down?
No. Third.
Third, okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, because I kind of blended those last two.
Whoops.
So with the school construction special fund. With that, I just want to make sure I've got my notes, in my head correct here. We were fine with that. Okay. And then going down to the second. Where we were talking about the purchase and use and the vehicle
Yeah.
tax, we were fine with that.
That's just fund swapping.
Correct, okay. So, all right. And then we are down to the Vermont Higher Education Endowment Trust Fund. And,
Question about that.
okay,
How, and maybe Rep Stone can answer this, how that differs from the $15 million under the UVM line item for the Higher Education Endowment Trust Fund.
Because it's not just for UVM, it's for Vermont College of Post-Secondary Institutions. It's not just UVM specific, whereas the first one is.
And do we have a dollar value for this one?
No, it was established in 1999 and it's distributed $30 million to date, but I don't have the exact number for it.
And it also refers back to the construction aid special fund. This is very confusing.
we can come back to that one then.
I don't know if there's much need for action though. These are more just like points of information versus things.
So it's more kind of housekeeping with how it's being structured.
Correct, that's the information that I got when I sought out information from my budget buddy earlier on.
Are we going back to the
So-
line item above it too?
The education fund?
Yeah,
No, I had that down as a positive.
okay.
Yeah, and then this one, I mean, they kind of all seem like they're working in the same sort of structure. So if there's no dollar amount here.
Right.
Want to take a favorable position on this? Are we comfortable with a favorable position on this?
On what, the higher education endowment trust?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, okay. All right. 7 more minutes. Vermont Association of Planning, Vermont Association of Planning and Development Agencies. $7,838,580. And this is for the general disbursement to those organizations statewide for regional planning commissions.
Right, so every regional planning commission gets a piece of this money. And
You know how it's dispersed? Is it by population or
I
endless
think
value
it's- I
or?
think it's by population, but I do not know the exact disbursement of it. But my guess is population because each one has a different number of towns in it. So like Essex County and Orleans, Caledonia, they have a huge RPC that has 55 towns in it because it's very sparsely populated.
And it is like all of the different offices operate at a different level of staff capacity, so that
Mhm.
breakdown totally varies, but my understanding over time is it is fairly distributed amongst the organizations based on their staff size, charges and duties.
How many do we have in the state?
And the 10 or 12.
Love to see some of their budgets, considering they're giving them $7.8 million and the towns contribute as well. It's like, what are their budgets?
And they also get grant capacity from
Oh,
different
yeah.
things, they get stuff from federal governments, and they do a lot of work.
We take $300,000 from them and give it to ethics.
It just seems like ridiculous amount of money.
Oops, no.
$7 million, almost 8. Regional planning,
See.
when they don't stop acting.
That's a conversation on a policy level within this legislative body. Their job within the scope of housing is
Yeah.
to take what we do and then translate it to the communities. So
Yeah.
they're sort of a conduit for effectuating and implementing the things that we send out into the wild.
Yeah.
So the member towns only contribute 4% to my Franklin County Regional Planning Commission.
So you only get 4% of the 7.8?
No,
Oh,
It says that it's
towns out of their total budget in Franklin and Grand Isle County, because it's a two-county RPC, only 4% of their budget comes from the member towns. Everything else is grants or state funding.
nobody talked to them at all? Has anybody come in from that?
I mean, we've had RPCs
Charlie
in here in
Baker.
several different capacities.
Yeah.
As far as the budget recommend, I mean, maybe I'm conflating with the previous biennium, but I feel like this is like, he spoke to this for the organization early in the session.
I have a letter.
Yeah, we definitely will that.
Let's see. In my,
Does handling increased complexity and demand, support for small municipalities like professional planners, managers, grant writers, brownfields cleanup, housing and development and infrastructure, Act 250 reforms and emergency preparedness, and energy planning are some of the things that they will be directing these funds to.
That sounds like what I understand their roles to be.
In the future, I think it would be helpful when people, and I'm saying this for myself, as somebody who had a $15 million budget, ask for UVM. If somebody's just asking for that much money, maybe it'd be helpful to get some like itemized, some of the things that they're asking for all of them. I don't know. Just so that we're not getting stuck on this.
so,
Maybe it'd be helpful.
we do have a letter from SABDA, from Devin Neary, who I think testified here. For one reason or another, and, much of this is a loss of FEMA emergency management funding.
Oh, that's interesting and good to know.
And I'm trying to see if he also included,
So why don't we cut that by and then inform it to something?
let me see if I can find.
Yeah, we're on.
Sandy and I are just moving some figures around, don't worry.
The budget language that's referenced. If it's an incorrect reference.
So maybe we put that in the waiting pile for tomorrow.
What do you want to find out more about on that? And I can see if I can find out something more.
What, if we are supplementing lost FEMA money, how much is that? Is there any other federal money that they are not getting next year that we're covering or that they're anticipating not getting that we're covering with that? And I guess that's all what I wanted to know too. Right, Catherine, did you have other questions?
I'd like to see what there's. I'd like to see their overall budget. So
Oh, yeah.
That is, that's it, the 7 point whatever. So what specifically do you want to see?
Well, their
How much
budget has
goes
to be
to
more.
each RPC?
Well, the budget has to be more than that because this 7 million doesn't include the grants they're getting, doesn't include what they're getting from the town's contributions.
Okay, I see what
So
you're
like,
saying.
that was,
So it's like, what's their budget? 15 million?
And then would you like to know how it's split up?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
what other sources are they getting money from?
So we're gonna hold on this one. And then next up, then I'll be conscious of time, but auditor.
This is above. Oops.
Yes, right. Pencil.
So this is above what the governor's given of $286,000. We don't know what he needs the additional money for, just that it's above the governor's recommendation.
We did get a letter from them and a spreadsheet, which I believe is posted to our committee page somewhere. So they have 16 positions and 12 auditors. There's no significant changes. They have no federal funds. The position change is that they switched an exempt position to a classified senior auditor. That's currently being recruited. There are $70,000 in carry forward funds. And if you look at the spreadsheet, it's personnel, so I think it makes up for that need.
I'm all for it.
Thumbs. You don't have to.
Some of these things you have questions about.
So I'm gonna put that down as a yes with broadly favorable. Only one dissent.
Slightly favorable.
So that's when
That was the auditor. Department of Libraries, 3.9. And that is an increase of 98. Rough water sevens.
I was just gonna say, it looks like the notes column and the reason for ask column got swapped
Okay.
because it says it was an
Yeah.
increase of less than $100,000 from last year.
Yep.
And then it's in the governor's recommended. I like a library.
Public infrastructure. Favorable thumbs, libraries. Favorable thumbs on libraries. Let's muscle through this last page. Vermont State Youth Council, $140,000. We just saw those students last week.
Yes, and I believe appropriations is in favor of it, according to my budget buddy.
Favorable thumbs. Okay, favorable thumbs. Vermont Council on Rural Development, $500,000. Coordinated services, delivery systems.
So we heard that testimony the other day from Jessica Savage and Denise Smith on the screen. And that was specifically for, and we'll make a note on this, rural municipal technical assistance. And it's a one-time ask. And again, this
Computers got so hot this afternoon,
This may help with individual towns who, for instance, have lost federal funding in certain areas and don't know where to go to look for help.
And then also, I think this plays into that conversation we're having, like the reimbursements.
Did they send us, like budget?
Yes.
On that?
Yes, there was a request. And they were with us just last week and are actually have a representative sitting in the gallery right now.
Yes.
Do you like a moment to, a moment to address the line item?
Sure,
Yeah, please.
great. Denise Smith, I'm the executive director of the Vermont Council on Rural Development. I was on screen last time, so I wasn't here in person. Nice to see you all. This is a one-time funding to really help support and continue the municipal technical assistance work that we had been doing over the last few years. That money is sunsetting. And we got a lot of momentum going. Most of this money, 2/3 of it would go directly to towns in very flexible grant appropriations. So that's what we're hoping for. And I think the budget was about 300,000 to in small grants, to towns like Newport or Sutton or whoever is applying. So we're hoping to use this money as a kind of a bridge between the MTAP ending and creating more support for rural towns around the state. we didn't want to lose the momentum. And so that's why we're here this year asking for this. The Verta report came out. And so we're basically responding to what the Vermont Evaluation of Rural Technical Assistance report is recommending, which was done through the Department of Housing and Community Development.
I mean, I personally, in light of the moment and the needs of that, I'm favorable to the recommendation.
Same. Very much so.
Thumbs? Yes, looks like favorable thumbs. Thank you for being with us.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
All right, folks, that leaves us with just a page and a smidge of a surplus with a couple of circle backs. So we identified some time tomorrow. Get this process going.
And I do want to say some blank spaces. Maybe we need to fill in.
But we have this, 30 tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah.
And then we also added the 245 to revisit the bye-bye on that labor component. So those are just to adjust, or not one adjustment to tomorrow's schedule. Anything else? All right, good work, everyone. There's a lot of moving parts today. Very grateful. That's a wrap. So we'll be back up tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Still live. At 9 a.m. for our joint hearing on cannabis
Tonight?
and that's going to be in room 11. We'll be meeting in room 11 tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. on that here. All right, thank you.